If we ask ourselves what's the meaning of life and should we have a meaning in our life, I think the first thing in terms of whether we should have a meaning is that there's no question there should be a meaning, because otherwise leads to the very common states of depression and worthlessness, and not just that, but also leads to the tendency to waste your life, to spend your time doing meaningless things which really don't matter to you or to anybody else. So should there be a meaning? Yes, I think there should be. As to what that meaning could be, as to what the meaning is, then I think there's two main meanings which we can attribute to a life. The first one, which is really the most wonderful way in a sense, is that a meaningful life should be a life that is actually lived rather than just existing. And what I mean by that is that if you're living your life, if you're there in your life, particularly you're living in the present moment, you're living there with what you're doing, rather than living in the past or living in the future, planning what you're going to be doing next year or next month, or reminiscing and remembering and regretting or feeling about things you've done in the past. You're not really there. You're not there in the moment. We only live, as mindfulness and living in the present moment will tell you, we only live in one moment, which is the present moment. And our first job in life and our first meaning in life is actually to be alive and to live in that moment. So, for example, if you're a parent, you'll know this very well. You can come home from work, you can be on the floor playing with your children, but you can not be with your children. You can be back in work, or you could be thinking what you're doing tomorrow or planning. So actually, you're not with your children. You don't, which is not good for you, and it's not good for your children. Your children will notice it, and so will you. So being in the present moment, being there, means that you're on the floor with your children, playing with your children. There's a huge difference between that and actually sitting on the floor and not being there. So the first meaning in our lives, and this is an amazing thing if you can do it, is to bring yourself into the moment, to live in your life, to actually be there in your life. The second meaning, if we look at a second, possibly deeper meaning, is to be connected to others, to be related to others, to be a part of the world, to be a part of everybody around you. And that means having the emotions, or the fundamental emotions of compassion and love for others. Why? Because to be healthy in our minds involves connecting. As humans, we're social beings. We like to connect. We like to be with other people. Therefore, the real sort of meaning from this point of view is the love and the compassion, the things we can do for others. Because the more we do for others, the more we connect with others. The more we connect with others, the less we are stuck in ourselves. And so the highest meaning, if you like, in our lives is to live for others, to do things for others, to make your life meaningful for others. If you ask someone on their deathbed what matters, then you'll find out what's meaningful, what really is meaningful in life. And most people at the time of death will say things like this: what matter? Your possessions doesn't matter. How many cars, how many houses, how much money, it doesn't matter. How many friends you have actually doesn't matter. And your body, of course, which we spend so much time looking after, that doesn't matter when you're going to die. What does matter is how much you've loved, how much you've connected, how much good you've done in the world. So the real higher meaning is that one, the second one there.
So, in other words, the real meaning of life could be summarized as connection and relating to others.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Could you say that?
So then, in terms of the two meanings, the first meaning is to live your life. That's without question. The second meaning is to be connected, to be related, interrelated, and interdependent with others. To be part of a human community, to help and be a positive influence within that community. That's what really matters, and that's what's meaningful. Yeah.